Alright, so, hey guys. Gonna have no headset because it doesn't really make a difference, so I just took it off and put it over here for the meantime. It is 2:47 in the morning. I can't sleep, so figured why not just make a video, just ramble off for a little bit while I can't sleep. So, yeah, I'm finally gonna try to use chapters instead of, a timestamp in the description, so hopefully we'll see we'll see if this goes well. I'm not gonna try to do multiple takes of this because I just want to try to go to sleep. So I think this is probably like the best way for me to just go to sleep, just get all my thoughts out on camera and everything. So yeah, like I said, gonna try to use some chapters instead of timetables, or timestamps. But yeah, first things first. Before I start, different lighting because I got a new lamp for Christmas. Same light bulb, but different lamp, different light shade. Um, the lamp used to be over here, my old lamp, because it was like a little. It's hard to describe, but basically it wasn't like a straight pole. It came up and then it was able to like swing over to the side, and then it came out like that. So it was like a little like right angle thing, and so that basically allowed me to um, squeeze it in that shelf right over there. So that's why the light source came from that way. But because of this new lamp, I can't just, if I put it right up there, I'm gonna have to reach for it every single time. And I'm a short person. I'm 5'5", so I'd have to reach for it every single time I had to turn my lamp on. I don't feel like doing that. Plus, if I need to cover the top of the lampshade, which I usually do because I don't really like lights in my room. Like I don't want to turn on the light in my room. I don't want to turn on the lamp, so I just put something on top of it to, you know, kill the light, or at least dampen it so it's not as bright. So it's bright enough to where I can see, but it's not like bright enough to like light the entire room up. So yeah. And also, if you hear this fan noise right here, it's my old laptop, the laptop I had been using since like when this. Well, actually no, when this channel first started, I was using another laptop. Then after that laptop was this laptop. Then from this laptop, I went to this laptop. So throughout the course of the of this channel, I've gone through three different. This is my third laptop. So basically, this house has no heat. Um, and so basically, for me to like the way I just decided to keep my room warm is to just do protein folding, or this thing called folding at home, which basically the universe, just really quickly before I go way way off topic and ramble on for another 20 minutes. Folding at home is a thing that Stanford University does. So basically, you can download the software onto your computer, and it'll use your computer's graphics card and processor. Well, if you have a graphics card, but it'll use your computer's processor, and then if you have a graphics card, that's even better, because graphics cards are video cards in general. What am I saying? They're both used interchangeably, but basically, graphics cards are a lot better at doing these sort of calculations than processors. And if you don't know the difference, then this won't mean anything to you. But basically, that software will use your computer's hardware to do all these calculations and like folding proteins and stuff like that. And basically, they will send you a packet of data, and they tell you to process it, like just do the protein folding or whatever. And then your computer does all these calculations, and then once it's done, then it sends that packet back over to Stanford. Um, and then they will, like, basically, instead of Stanford having to need like a big old supercomputer to do all of its stuff, they just basically offhand the work to normal civilians like us. So then they offhand it off to us, and then we do some of the stuff for them, and then we send that part back for them to kind of like assemble together and stuff like that. So that's basically how it works, and consumes a lot of energy in the process. And so this is basically my way of heating up my room, and it goes for a good cause too, because you can actually help do research on stuff like Parkinson's, cancer, even COVID-19, Alzheimer's, all that stuff. So I'm doing a lot of I just have it set to high priority. So whatever they need to get done, that's what this laptop is doing. So yeah. But anyways, that's the reason why there's a bunch of background noise and stuff. So yeah, and also because of the timestamps, I'm gonna be typing stuff over here, so just don't mind that. That's just me, marking down the timestamps for what where the chapters are gonna go. It's just a little bit easier for me, so I don't have to keep going back through and like finding out like, oh, what exact timestamp do I need to move on to the next chapter. So yeah, but anyways, let's go ahead and mark that down. Okay, and so yeah, the first thing I want to talk about is I turned 25 last month. I wanted to actually make a video on my birthday, but on the day of, I honestly completely forgot. I was taking care of other stuff as well, and my girlfriend and my online friends in general, they were very nice, and they sent me a lot of birthday wishes, and especially my girlfriend Joe. She did not want me to forget it, so but yeah, she wished me happy birthday and stuff like that. I was taking care of other stuff in the morning. Well, when I had just woken up, I was taking care of stuff. But yeah, the odometer's turning again, and yeah, honestly, quarter of a century. I don't feel that old, but time starts to move a little bit faster when you're in your 20s. So and I'm feeling it firsthand. Like it felt like just yesterday. It felt like just yesterday I was in high school and stuff like that. So just fooling around with friends and all that stuff. And now all of a sudden I'm 25 and I have all these responsibilities now, and it's crazy. And honestly, the times haven't been too nice to me. As I still haven't gotten a fairly regular schedule of going to the gym, because my self-confidence has like just dramatically dropped over the past few years. And trying to go to the gym looking like this, it's like, so I don't have any confidence anymore, and so I know that like if I don't ever take that step to go to the gym often and frequently, then I'm just paying for nothing, so I really need to start getting out there. But then like I never really want to commit or anything. It's like, oh, it's too much work and blah 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 blah. So yeah, I guess that's the joys of getting a little older, I guess, and I never expected to actually grow my hair back out, but I missed my hair from high school, and I will get a cut eventually. So in the next few months, I'll definitely get this, mop cut. But for the meantime, I'm still just gonna enjoy it because I love long hair. I love the only problem is that it gets in the way everywhere. That's really the only problem. But I love the way I look in long hair. I ever since I was a little kid, I always loved long hair. So yeah, that's kind of interesting. But I don't know. I always every time when cause like my aunt actually knows how to cut hair, and so when I lived with her, every few months she would always call me to go get my hair cut, and I would always protest, and I would always hate it, and I'd sulk about it for a good like month or so after I get my hair cut. But then once it starts growing back out again, then I start kind of, yay, it's getting long again. And then she'd come and cut it again, and then eventually I kind of had to, like when I was in high school, I really wanted to grow it out. And so basically I started talking to my friends about it, and one who has long hair, and he said I don't let people tell me that I had to cut my hair and stuff like that. So it's like, if you really want long hair, you're old enough now, you just put your foot down and say, hey, I don't want to get my hair cut, so I just did that. And then she was like, okay, fine, don't get your hair cut. And then I just let it grow long in high school. So yeah, anyways, let's go ahead and mark the new timestamp. Sorry. Okay, so anyway, speaking about high school, I am potentially moving soon, because I finally did the last of what I needed to do. Well, actually, I did it way back in October, but now that I finally got the ceremony done and everything, now is where like honestly, it still hasn't sunken in, but basically, when I moved here 3 years ago, I want to say, there were 3 things that I wanted to do, three goals that I needed to accomplish before I go anywhere else. First was to get my high school diploma, which paradoxically I actually completed that last. But the first thing I wanted to do is get my high school diploma. Number 2, get my license. And number 3, get a car. Well, I got my license. Actually, I got my first car before I even got my license because it was a relatively cheap car. I just saved up a whole bunch for it. So, got the car. Used that to get my license. And then after about like a year and a half of dabbling and stuff like that, finally graduated in October. And just about a week and a half ago, I think at this point, no, is it two? No, but yeah, a little over a week ago, I finally got my actual diploma and everything. Of course, they had already mailed my diploma back in October, so this was just like a little like prop that we just held once we got off the stage. When we were on the stage, we kind of just they gave us this little like prop thingy. It like had like a blank thingy inside that's supposed to make it look official, but I decided to put my actual diploma in here, so yeah. And I don't care about showing my name. I really don't care at this point. Normally I try to, be a little bit private with what I share online, but I mean, it's just my name. It's not like my address or my social security number. It's just my name. I graduated. And it's actually a high school diploma. It's not even like a GED or anything. It's like my full-blown high school diploma. And, as you can see, the cap is like hanging right there. Cap is hanging right there. I took the little tassel and I hung it on my rearview mirror in my car because I just wanted to hang something on there. I don't know. So that's hanging in my car. And then the gown is just sitting right there with the sash right there. Sash is right there. The whole gown is this big thing hanging down. So yeah, finally got the ceremony done, and so now I'm officially graduated. I did the last of my 3 goals, and so I'm trying to move out of here soon in the next few months or so. Although things aren't set in stone yet because it's gonna take a little while, but so my plan is to move out of here in the next few months or so. So you're gonna see you're gonna see the background change, in the next few months. When I make a video and the background changes, you'll know what happened. Like I'll be in another. And this is honestly, I've been here for 3 years, and it's just I just need a new change of scenery, So yeah. But anyways, moving on to the next topic. So let's start talking about let's start shifting a little bit more into hockey, and that I've kind of given my life update. So I've been thinking about this for a little while, and my last jersey collection video was like about a year ago, I want to say, or it might be even a year and a half ago. I don't remember. I think I did it beginning of last year, I think. But yeah, I have a lot of jerseys back there. And as you can see, I hung my Rangers playoff towel. I'll get to that later. I hung my Rangers playoff towel on the rack there. But yeah, I have been thinking about making a 2023 update to the collection video, jersey collection video, and honestly, that won't really be too outdated for a little while, as I'm pretty much over the past year or so. Oh my gosh, the autofocus really does not like me. Come on, there we go. Wow, I don't know what that was for. But yeah, the jersey collection video probably won't be outdated for a long time, because like I said, jersey collecting has kind of stagnated for me over the past year, so there really isn't any new jersey that new jersey, but there aren't really any jerseys that I really want to collect, aside from just trying to get all the teams in the league. I really do want a Seattle jersey, but I currently do not make currently my financial situation, it won't allow me to buy really any new jerseys for a little while, which really sucks, because the last ones I got were the Ottawa and the Winnipeg one, because I thought I was making more money, and then all of a sudden I wasn't. So it's unfortunate, but it happens. But hey, what can you really do? But so I was thinking about making a new jersey collection video for a little bit. Um, and it might it'll stand for a little while, which is actually pretty, because I've gotten a lot of jerseys since that video. So yeah. What I'll probably end up doing is doing it kind of autofocus really freaking sucks, doesn't it? Hey, focus on me. I'm not being focused. That's fun. Uh, let me see. Oh, there we go. Okay, I was about to hold something up to it and just but yeah. I've been thinking about doing is maybe just doing something the hockey guy style, like THG style, where he just holds up a jersey and talks about it for a little bit and then hits the pause button, because I don't want to keep getting up and squeezing, because like I have my dresser right here and then I have my bed right here, and there's just enough space for this chair to be here. So I don't want to have to like get up and squeeze myself through here and waste time putting a jersey on the rack and then take another one off and then explaining it for like 30 seconds and then putting that back on the rack. So what I'm probably going to do is just talk about the jersey, like hold the jersey, talk about it, and then hit the pause button, go back there, grab a new jersey, and then hit the resume button, and then record it with the new jersey, and then pause it again, and just do that for all the jerseys that I have in my collection. I was thinking about that, but for right now, I don't know what I want to do. So, well, yeah. So it is what it is. But yeah. Okay. So yeah. So yeah. Anyways, my thoughts on the Blackhawks. Okay, so this is an article that it's a tweet and an article that I read from Mark Lazarus, who talks about the Chicago Blackhawks on The Athletic, I believe, and he posts a lot on Twitter as well. And there's one article that really kind of made me a little uneasy. Basically, it was he said that the Blackhawks players are actively trying to screw up the tank, and they're having a lot of fun doing it as well. So my thoughts on that is are I don't like. I get why he's saying. I get why he's saying that, but I don't think he should be saying it. I think that was still a poor choice of words, because like, it's not that like players. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that you've heard someone say this before. If you follow hockey and everything, players aren't. They're never going to actively play bad in their games. They're always going to try their best to win, no matter what. It doesn't matter if it doesn't matter if the more games you lose, the better chance that you have to pick number one overall and get a really good player. You're not going to sit there and wait for one guy to come around and turn this team around. You want to be good anytime that you can be good, and plus they're not like it. Like, we can look at it and from like an organization perspective, on a team perspective, and be like, if you guys try to lose all your games, you can get a really good player and that'll help us a lot. But in their minds, in every single one of their collective minds, they're not thinking about that. They're thinking about playing to not screw up their stats. They want to have good stats. They want to let other, like, in case they don't want to play for, in case they want to trade out to another team, they're gonna, that other team is gonna look at this guy's stats and be like, oh yeah, well, even though this team is bad, he's been playing really good and blah 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 blah. It's just that his team isn't winning games, but he still has really good individual stats. So if we bring this guy into our team, we can probably expect him to play pretty well with with a team that wins more. They're looking at it as like their job. It's basically their job. You're not gonna keep your job. Like, if it, like, whatever job that we have, we're not gonna be able to, like, there's no way we're gonna keep our job if we deliberately do crap at our job. It's like, that's the same thing with NHL players. They're playing for their job. They're not, looking at it from a fan perspective like all of us are. Where like, if you lose all your games, you can get this really good player, and that'll help the team a lot. No, they want to try to win as much as possible. They're playing for their job. They're playing for their salary. So I don't know. It doesn't make. I mean, as a fan, it makes sense, but like, as a hockey player, I haven't played hockey in a while, so I can't really, say that. But whatever. I used to play hockey, but from a hockey player perspective, it's like, yeah, you're gonna try to play as well as you can every single night, every single shift. You're gonna give it your all. You're not gonna be like, oh yeah, well let's just give up, and just throw your hands in the air, be like, whatever. I'll deliberately screw up my stats for 1 year, and just completely just crap the bed, so we can get this one player that should save our whole team. No, that's just, it doesn't work that way. So never understood that. But yeah, I can understand from a fan's perspective. But yeah, okay. So moving on to our last topic. Thoughts on the Rangers and the cup chances for the Rangers, and what's gonna happen come trade deadline. Now, like I said earlier, I have my playoff towel, my Rangers playoff towel from last year, just hanging up on that rack. And so most people should understand, or most people should know that obviously the Blackhawks are my number one team. The fact that I'm wearing this Blackhawks shirt is actually serendipity. But everybody knows that I'm from Chicago. I love my Blackhawks. I love everything about like Chicago, like all the sports, all the sports teams in Chicago. I love everything about them. Every single team, even the White Sox. Like, I grew up on the north side, but I still like the White Sox because they're a Chicago team. I'm not like the, crosstown rivalry thing. I don't really believe in that. That's just me. Like, if the Cubs are doing bad, I'll cheer for the White Sox. If the White Sox are doing bad, then normally I cheer for the Cubs over the White Sox, but if the Cubs are bad, I'll cheer for the White Sox too. I don't care. But primarily, I'm going to try to cheer for the Cubs. As you can tell there's a Cubs jersey right there. There's a Anthony Rizzo jersey, which that jersey really broke my slight tangent. You can tell I'm pretty damn tired. But slight tangent. That jersey, I I got that jersey, I think early 2021, I think, if I remember correctly. So I got that early 2021, and right through the season, before the MLB trade deadline that year, the Cubs traded Rizzo to the Yankees, and that broke my heart because Rizzo was always my favorite player. I have a Baez jersey back there somewhere too. I don't know if it's still back there. It might be, and the autofocus has totally gone bonkers on me again. Come on. Over here. Hopefully it doesn't. I don't have to hold something. Can you focus on this? It's upside down. Focus. I swear I'm probably gonna have to autofocus. Whatever. I'll just talk until it oh, there we go. So yeah. Anyways, so I have a Baez jersey back there somewhere too, but that was because it was an accident. I wanted to buy a Rizzo jersey and the listing said a Rizzo jersey, but they sent me a Baez jersey, and they're like, "Oh yeah," when I messaged them about that, like, "Oh yeah, no, we actually ran out of the Rizzo jersey, so if you want to send that one back, we'll give you a full refund." I'm like, you know what? I like Baez, I'll keep it, but I was supposed to get a Rizzo jersey, so, and then that Rizzo jersey happened to actually be a really authentic one too, with cool patches and everything, so that was pretty fun. But yeah, anyways, back on topic. So, people should know that, Chicago is my favorite team, because I'm from Chicago. So, Blackhawks number 1, Rangers are number 2. I think I explained this in the last video, but I'll explain it again, because I did miss a very important point about it. The reason why the Rangers are my number 2 team is that, number 1, I figured out that a lot of old Blackhawks players from that '92 Cup run, actually were traded over to the Rangers in '94 for their Cup run because Mike Keenan coached the '92 Blackhawks, and then he went over to New York and then brought some of those Blackhawks players with him, like Stefan Matteau, Brian Noonan, Steve Larmer, Eddie Olczyk. Well, Eddie Olczyk, which was traded to Toronto, and then he ended up in New York for the '94 run. So Eddie Olczyk was there too, and Mike Keenan was there because he was the coach. So he brought in all these Blackhawks players, and then they won the Cup in '94. So I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool, Blackhawks players winning the Cup with the Rangers, and I happen to like the Rangers, so because of that, like when I started watching Rangers games, I'm like, hey, this team's pretty cool. So I started watching lots of Rangers games, and I really really liked it. And of course they play Madison Square Garden, which is really 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 cool. So that was another plus for them. And back in the day, I was a big Henrik Lundqvist fan. I have a Lundqvist jersey back there that if I just were to go through all of the jerseys, you'll see that Lundqvist jersey there. So yeah, but I was a big Lundqvist fan, and so that basically cemented my fandom for the Rangers. Just not going to top my Blackhawks, obviously, but for right now, since the Blackhawks aren't really doing that well, and the Rangers are kind of like on again, off again, kind of like a playoff team, I started cheering for the Rangers a lot this year. So yeah, but yeah. Anyways, my thoughts on the Rangers Cup chances. It's not impossible, but it's kind of I don't see this team going through 4 rounds, unless the offense really steps it up, and the kid line starts taking that next step, which they started doing in the past couple months or so. We've seen slight glimpses of brilliance, especially Philip Hedl. Oh my gosh, that kid scored 6 goals in 3 games. I picked him up in my fantasy league. I hope that's not a mistake, but he started showing some brilliance, and I decided to pick him up. But yeah, that kid line, every now and again they'll do something amazing. Kaapo Kakko, I remember earlier in the season when he started, getting some assists and points and whatnot. Alexis Lafreniere, he'll get a point every now and again. He'll score a goal. He'll get an assist. He'll score another goal. He'll get another 2 assists or whatever. On again, off again, on again, off again. But yeah, that kid line needs to really start stepping it up, and they started. I mean, sometimes you just gotta have patience with your development. I mean, Lafreniere came in at 18 years old. I remember when I was 18 years old, I would never have been able to play at the NHL level with all that pressure and all that stuff going on, all the importance and everything, especially for a team like the Rangers with their storied history and everything, as an original 6 team, that is. So yeah, but yeah, they're starting to step it up. They're getting better with their game. They're starting to really generate some offense, and so the fact that I'm a little bit out of focus again, but whatever. Yeah, the fact that there's some trade deadline rumors that Patrick Kane could be going to the Rangers would be that honestly, that would be awesome. I would love to see Kane in a Rangers jersey, but I've heard that the rumors that the Rangers would have to put either Kakko or Lafreniere on the table for the Blackhawks to even consider a Patrick Kane trade to the Rangers. And obviously there's going to be some retained salary from the Blackhawks. Obviously, they're not going to be able to have the cap space to keep that whole $10.5 million cap hit on their, under their cap space. So there's probably going to be like a 50% retention on the cap or on the salary. But yeah, I don't think that trade should go through. As much as I would love to see Kane and Panarin reunited together, that kid line needs to stay there. And that's coming from someone who would love to see one of the Rangers players in a Blackhawks jersey, which honestly I'm already kind of seeing with Jarred Tinordi, because Jarred Tinordi was on the Rangers, and he got claimed on waivers by Chicago, and now Jarred Tinordi is a Chicago Blackhawk, which is kind of cool. But yeah, honestly, that should not happen. I don't want to see, the Rangers give up a nice, you know, up and coming prospect just for a rental at the deadline who might not even sign with the Rangers because Kane wants to, like, I don't remember where I heard this, but I heard Kane say that, he wanted to stay with the Blackhawks to completely rewrite the record book for the Blackhawks. He wants to be, you know, on top of Stan Mikita. He wants to beat all the records that were set by Stan Mikita. He wants to be, he wants to have, 1,468 points, which, by the way, Stan Mikita has 1,467 points, so he wants to be over that by 14, having 1,468, which, honestly, it's not impossible, but I don't think I can see him doing it before he retires. He's getting old. He's getting older by the day, which, sucks because, eventually he's going to have to retire soon because, Patrick Kane's my favorite Blackhawk. I loved him ever since I was 12 years old. Well, when did I think I was, 10 years old. Ever since he came into the roster, I was 10 years old. Love the guy. And I've loved him to this day, and he's, like I said, been my favorite Blackhawk. He scored all these, great goals for the team and everything. So, yeah, as much as I love him, I don't know if I can see him doing that. I mean, he's pretty close, but I don't know if, because, his scoring, eventually is going to have to start dropping because he's getting older and older. Well, I say this as, Ovechkin is, putting up, crazy numbers at age 37. He scored another, he has another 30-goal season at 37 years old. So, who knows? But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and just stop it there. I'm pretty sure that everything has kind of been covered. Everything that I wanted to cover has been covered. And yeah, so yeah, leave your thoughts in the comments down below. If you made it this far, you're awesome. And again, timestamps, I've been typing them over here, so hopefully that can have you follow along pretty easily. So yeah, but anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed, and hopefully this can get me to finally sleep because it's it's 3:20 in the morning. So but yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and until next time, I'll see you guys later.